everybody. It is, let's see here, make sure we've got, okay, we're grand. Hi, everybody, live from Denver. It's Friday night. It is time for another episode of Critical Conversations, and I'm joined by my beautiful, my intellectually gorgeous wife here this evening, Melissa.
Hello, hello.
And hey, everybody, it is our post-Thanksgiving celebration for all the good fellows of TGAC, except you, B. I see you. I'm watching you. Better get to ethics. I want to sign off on that routing form before I say we're all done with that. Inside joke. Horrible one. Horrible one. All right, guys. So here we are for Friday, the 27th of November in the year of our Lord, 2020. How are you this evening, babe?
I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah, me too. We're doing pretty good. I feel like we're ready for a set of Dave Schweddy balls.
Yeah.
From Saturday Night Live.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're good. They're very good. Yeah, we like those.
Yeah. What does she say? I like to put your balls in my mouth.
Yes. Yeah, they're good for all kinds of fixins. All right. So, so this episode is a call-in show, and the call-in line is 984-214-4154. So I will throw that out there. Let us check in with Seven. Now, I don't know that we are going to be super...
You can barely see him.
Yeah, he is kind of tidied up in the back corner of the closet. This 7 cam this week is literally the floor eye view of our little ball of love, 7. And he's just chilling back there in the back of the closet. So I don't know if he's going to be too active this evening or what's going to happen. You can barely see him between the red and the black. Yeah. Right center screen, top third there is where he's located there. So that's our little 7 cam for this evening. Yeah, maybe he'll pop out of there. We'll see what we see with that. All right, so post-Thanksgiving episode. I wanted to enumerate this evening and maybe get you guys to enumerate to us as well what it is you are thankful for this year. It has been a rough year, but there is a real light as far as I'm concerned at the end of the tunnel. For real, we're hearing positive news about these vaccines. Mm-hmm. There was a headline today from Denver, local news, that Colorado hospitals are excited and prepped to be hearing that they're going to be shipping these vaccines perhaps as early as December. Obviously we want the entire process done properly in terms of all the testing and whatnot. And I believe the very fact that it has taken this long with this amount of concerted effort internationally, remember, to produce this, I mean, we have really advanced the speed of the technology by increasing. What was it? Somebody in Scientology told me one time, anything can get done. It's just a matter of leveraging the time and the money. Mm-hmm. The less time you have, the more money it's going to cost you.
Yep.
Right? But the more money you throw at something and the more people you throw at something, the less time you might have to have. Yeah. Right? And of course, in physical labor, we call this Egyptian style. Just get more hands on the object and get it moving or lifted or whatever you needed to do. But that was Egyptian style, right? So that was how we used to talk about things on the RPF. So, yeah, look at all these things people are thankful for. Yes, thankful. I'm adding that to the list right now. I will put that up as item number 1, Jonathan Perry. We are definitely seeing eye to eye. We are thankful that Disney is not ruining The Mandalorian. I am so down with that. We are totally caught up as of last week. We did not see today's show. Yeah, haven't seen that yet. We will probably see that tomorrow. We usually do that on a Saturday. And we have been, what is your, I go on and moderate about this stuff. What's been your take on this, just to put you on the spot a little bit? Yeah, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I think it's great. I like where the story's going. I like how Baby Yoda or the child. You don't know anything about him.
That's
That
right.
big mystery. I hope they don't let us down with the backstory of him.
Exactly. I guess we're about to get I guess we're about to find
Yeah.
out, right? And we're also getting an animated series character coming to real life, and I hope that's not too much of a spoiler, because I know that's fairly common. I'm not going to say who that character is, though. We have a call, so let us take this caller from the queue. Hello, you are on.
Yeah, this is Mark.
Hey, Mark.
I talked to you last week, but this is the only way I know how to contact you. I got online and tried to find some sort of website or something.
Okay.
And I'm unfortunately I'm not I'm pretty computer illiterate. I got the computer skills of a grapefruit.
No, I totally get it. No worries. Well, what's on your mind this evening?
Well, I just started, what I'm thankful for. Well, I belong to a steamboat club. All the boats are steam powered, early spring, somebody offered me a free steamboat, but it's a derelict, and I've had to strip it on the bare hull, and I don't have machinery because a lot of stuff has to be rebuilt. So a bunch of boat club members are getting together, and they started kind of a GoFundMe type thing to help fund the get the boat restored. And another club member is rebuilding the engine for me. And then eventually they're going to get the boiler. So I got a bunch of people helping me out physically and financially.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that's great.
So
some good news.
And so I'm hoping to have it going by spring.
Excellent.
And so it's been steamboats are like Rome. They're not built in a day.
Oh, I bet. I'll bet that's true.
So yeah, I certainly hope this virus thing finally quits up, because it's seriously coming from my style. I go to the grocery store park around, and I got some of these Karens looking at me like I'm the boogeyman because they don't have a mask on.
You're not wearing a mask?
No.
No?
No. I just don't. I don't like them at all. They're just uncomfortable as hell.
You are not wrong about that. I hate wearing them too. They chafe my nose, and I get steam up on my glasses, because when I have to wear my glasses when I'm wearing my mask, right? And my breath goes up and it fogs up my glasses. Drives me crazy.
Well, I work in manufacturing, and I have to do a lot of grinding stuff, and I have to wear a mask for the particulates, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have to stand in some nasty stuff, and I find that I have to put rain next to my safety glasses just so I can see what the heck I'm doing.
Exactly. You know what I'm talking about. Exactly. But let me ask you a question. Why do you wear the mask when you're doing that work?
Because there's I'm standing on aluminum, and there's a kind of a crust when it comes out of the manufacturer. When it gets manufactured, there's a little bit of a crust on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you grind away the crust and the polish, the crust kind of goes up, and when I'm done, some people call me Smurf because my face is blue except where the mask goes. Some people call me that's my nickname. Last place called me Smurf because my face is all blue.
Wow.
No, don't place I wasn't blue is where the mask went.
Right.
And I learned very quickly that I had to shave very carefully if I wanted to get the mask to seal right.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Well, I'm gonna say, you're wearing that thing because it's safety, it's a requirement, it's necessary for you. And it's kind of the same thing when you're going out right now, man, because I'd rather you stay alive, and I'd rather that the people you meet stay alive.
Yeah.
That's what that mask is all about.
Luckily, I don't live in a heavily populated area, and I don't really go out too much.
Right, exactly. Exactly. But when you do, I really wish you'd wear one.
Yeah. A friend of mine's wife, she makes a bunch of them out of rags and everything. And my friend's wife sent me a whole bag of them.
Excellent. So you've got them. If you got them, wear them. All right. Listen, Mark, I'm going to let you go in just a second here because I've got another caller in the queue that I want to get to also.
Okay.
All right. But it's been fun talking to you this week, man. I'm really glad you called and gave me that good news. I really, really appreciated hearing that. That's awesome.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Keep me updated.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yep. And bye.
All right. And let's see. We have Dana on the phone here. Let's pick this up. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Is this Dana? Did I get your name right?
Yes. No, it's Dana.
Excellent.
So I had a question. I think you had mentioned last week when talking about your university or college, you made a comment about how it was very different than when you were learning or teaching Scientology.
Yes.
And I know for myself, when I was in college and then I was part of like this very, very culty Jewish group, that obviously the learning was very different. But I was thinking about that comment this week, and I figured I would call and ask you a little more about just your thoughts on how it's different.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's my question.
Okay, great. Well, let me tell you, and I'll try to make this short and to the point, because you know me, I ramble.
Yes.
The simplicity of the big difference I've seen so far is that in a university situation, there are classes or lectures I've had where I would describe it as sort of fire hosing the data at me. Right? It's sink or swim. It's like, here's the data, and we're going to make it available to you, and you've got this library, you've got these resources, you've got these professors. You can talk to them in class, you can talk to them out of class. There's a lot of learning potentials here, but it has a lot to do with how much, you're bringing to the picture yourself. And the professors are not really necessarily it's not a job requirement for them to make sure you understand what they're trying to teach you. That's a very big difference for me from when I was in a Scientology classroom, both as the teacher or supervisor and as the student. Because there, the standard was, and I'm not trying to elevate this, I'm comparing differences, right? This is just a different situation. For me, and I had decades of this Scientology experience, so this was not a minor thing for me. This wasn't some passing thing from my grade school. I lived this for years, this idea that you didn't walk out of that classroom with a single word misunderstood, or it was literally a crime. Like a big deal. It was a big deal. So Hubbard expected you to understand every bit of it. A Scientology crime. They have their own justice code in Scientology with rules and laws, and they have crimes. And one of those crimes is going past, knowingly going past a misunderstood word in the course materials. So your feet are very much, your feet are very much expected, are held to the fire in terms of your learning as a Scientologist. They do have a high bar. And they want people to understand the knowledge that they're trying to impart. And Hubbard was very dedicated to that. Oh, thanks for that super chat. Thank you very much. So that was the environment I came from. Again, both as a supervisor where I was overseeing people and I was having to get information across to them that sometimes they had a very hard time duplicating or understanding. Not just Hubbard stuff, but stuff out of encyclopedia, stuff out of physics books, out of math books, out of health or science books. We had tons of reference materials that we were constantly referring to. So you really, I can say a lot of horrible things about Scientology. This particular model of education wasn't something that standard, I should say, didn't particularly bother me. How when Scientology would go about it certainly did. But, that's the environment I came from. So coming into the university, it was a little different.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. Thanks for
All
calling.
right. Thank you.
All
Bye.
right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Cool. And another call here. Here we go. All right. David Miscab from Texas. Hello.
I'm writing a knowledge report on everybody in chat, damn it.
Excellent. Hey, man, how's it going?
Everybody. Everybody's going down. Everybody's going down, damn it.
That's right. All have sinned and all must be punished. How's it going?
What's up, Chris and Melissa?
We're
pretty
good.
Pretty good.
Cool. What's up this evening?
I need to quit watching your videos, man. I swear to God, the last couple of days. The last 2 days, I've been dreaming that I was in Scientology trying to escape.
I think you might be watching too many of my videos then. I do not want you to watch so much of my content that it induces PTSD. So
it was so weird. Like the first night, it was so weird. The first, I was trying to escape, but I tried to get my ex-wife to sneak me out. So she snuck me out, but then she brought me back and told on me. But then the second dream I had was this morning is I guess they were punishing a group of us, and they had these bags of like octopus parts or something, and they dumped them all on the floor, and they wanted us to clean them up, and I'm like, screw you. I was like, I'm not doing that shit. And I was trying to I was trying to convince everyone. I was like, you don't have to do this. I'm like, why are y'all doing it? You don't have to do this shit. It was crazy.
If I might ask, did you happen to have a seafood dinner that evening?
No, but where I think that
octopus?
It might have come in my head. My dreams are fucking crazy anyway.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go any further in dream analysis than the gastric zone. That's as far as I'll go. So,
but what I think it is last week or the week before, I just started watching Leah Remini's Aftermath on Netflix. So that might have started putting it. Maybe that's where it came into my head, because I know it's an old, but yeah, it's probably where it started coming up. I don't know, but
yeah. Well, let me just please advise, maybe take some breaks, get outside, take some walks, something, get your head out of the Scientology bubble. Don't trust me, you don't.
But I do have one question for you, Chris.
Yeah.
Okay. They consider themselves a church, correct?
They do consider themselves that. Yes, they do.
Okay, so are churches able to deny service to anyone they feel like it?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, churches aren't under any obligation to welcome anybody into their door through their doors at all.
So any church, if they say, "Well, I don't like you,
mm-hmm.
so you can't come in here." You can't come in. So all churches can do that?
Discrimination within churches it has to be shown to be religious based. I mean, you can take them to court for things like religious discrimination or something like that. But individually, they can kick any individual out. When you start discriminating based on class, race, that sort of thing, that's a different level of the law. I thought you were asking about individuals.
Well, no, here's where I was getting at, because when I was watching the show, let's say that a ex-Scientology member got declared a suppressive person, and I talked and I talk to that person. And Scientology knows that I talk to that person, so I go up to the front door. Are they able to say, no, you can't come in here?
Absolutely. Yeah, they can say that to anybody for any reason. They're a private organization in terms of, as far as that goes. You trying to get on their property against their will, that's trespassing.
But it seems like since they're under a religion, like as a church, they can't turn anybody away.
Yeah, there's nowhere in the law that it says that at all.
Okay, I was just wondering that because I'm like, well, why don't these people just walk through the, because I've seen the videos where, they got like one of their security guys saying, you can't come in. I'm like, what's keeping these people from just like, get the hell out of my way, I'm going in.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. You're in the wrong if you try to do that. That's trespassing.
I mean, were they physically manhandle you, or were they just call the cops?
No, they would try to prevent you from entering, right? They would try to bar the door. There is an internal policy letter. Okay, here's a chance for me to throw some Scientologies at people. All right, so check this out. There is a policy internally in the church. It's not a law. This is not a legal thing, which is called HCO, bringing order. If there is a social disturbance of some kind within the church, the internal policy is for the local HCO person, the local ethics person, basically, to deputize other Scientologists as necessary so that they are all given ethics okay to do whatever is necessary to repel borders, get rid of people, whatever is needed, right? And they can deputize staff, or preferably other staff, but they can also grab public who are around as well, who are Scientologists, and say, hey, HCO, bring order. That means everybody has to listen to what HCO, the ethics guy, is now telling them, and they got to bring order, right? They got to get things handled. So I never... what's that?
I was just going to say, I don't get it because I watched that part of the show where it's clearly in the policy letter where L. Ron Hubbard said something to the, you probably know it, something to the effect that control equals money.
Yeah, control equals income. Yeah.
Yeah, income.
Yeah.
I mean, that's clear for the government to look at, and I'm like, there's things in the fair game that's like public information. Why is it that they're still able to function like that?
Well,
I mean, they're like the mob.
I know you're going to love this
They're
answer.
The mafia.
Well, they are a mafia. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. And we are totally, nailing it on this, that these are a rotten organization full of, rotten activities. But when it comes to the law, we have to be clear, right? The phrase control equals income is not a criminal phrase. There's nothing wrong with that statement. The statement in and of itself isn't, oh, hello, thank you very much, Joyce, for that awesome super chat. Okay, so control equals income. I could control, I hold out my hand, you put the money in my hand, I put the money in the till, I log it in, and I register it. That's control. I'm controlling that money. That equals income, right? You could make the argument that that's what that means. It's not what it means, but you could make the argument that's what it means in a court of law, and you'd succeed. And you wouldn't have a case. You see what I mean?
Yeah, I understand it, but I mean, surely the FBI knows that what they really mean.
They do. Of course they do. We've had so many people go to the FBI and say, what's up? And they have opened up files, and this goes back, all the way back to when Hubbard was writing to them in the 1950s.
Wow.
Trying to claim that everybody was a communist. So they know.
Well, what blew my mind is when I forgot his name, but him and his wife was on the show. Mike, no, it wasn't Mike Render. It was the other guy. If you say his name, I'll know it. Him and his wife was talking to Leah Remini. He was the one that said he got beat up a lot. Oh,
Marty Rathbun.
No, the other top guy.
Oh, Jeff. Well, there's Jeff Hawkins. He's the next one who got beat up on a lot. There was Mike Render, Jeff Hawkins. I am trying to remember the face that
he's married to another Scientology woman still to this day, and they both got out.
Not sure. Yeah, you could be referring to a lot of people there.
Okay.
Sorry, man.
But what I was wondering is they both said, like after they blown, that they both went to the FBI. They told them everything that was going on, the abuse, the physical abuse. They said the FBI actually had satellite footage of the gold base.
Yep.
And
are you talking about Debbie Cook?
In the report, maybe that was him. I don't know.
Debbie Cook and her husband.
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
And he said he pointed out, okay, here is where the hole, here is this is this, and they acted like the FBI acted like, they were interested. And his wife said, thank God they finally going to do something. But then they said that nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
And I'm I mean, are they that scared of Scientology?
I wish we could assume that, but there are other possibilities there. Very, very logical, rational possibilities as to why the FBI didn't pursue the case. Yes,
I'm glad there is. Mm-hmm. I'm glad there is no. Well, I live in a small city, but I'm glad there is no Scientology church here.
Yeah, me too.
I would go there and I would mess somebody up because I'm ex-military, so I would go over there and mess somebody up.
Well, let us definitely be clear here that we are not endorsing that in any way, and I will argue you strenuously out of that idea all day long, even if I have to keep you here all night. No, I'm just kidding. But no, we do not in any way want that. Yeah, we do not want that. All that does is hurt everybody involved. So.
Well, it's just frustrating that the government don't do anything about it. But
it is.
I don't want to keep your queue in long, but
no, you're good, man. Thank you.
All right, Chris. See you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. And we have another caller here. I believe this is Joyce. Hello.
This is Joyce. We have another caller here.
Whoa.
Hello, it's Joyce.
Hi, Chris. I'm Melissa. It's Joyce.
Hey, Joyce.
Hi, Chris. I'm Melissa.
We have a little bit of background noise. Could you reduce the volume in the background?
We have a little bit of background noise. Could you reduce the volume
Thank
in the
you.
background?
Yes, I'm going to do it right now.
Awesome.
Okay, is that better?
Yes. Oh, the Headleys.
Okay.
That's who he was talking about. Hi, Joyce. Sorry, I saw a comment on the last caller and clarified who he was talking about. My bad. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Listen, no worries. I actually, this is probably right off topic, but do you know Jordan Peterson?
I am aware of the man,
yes. You know about, okay. I'd actually like to speak a little bit about him, about his situation. I'm in Toronto, and he was a professor here in Toronto, for the listeners who don't know. And he was a very revered professor right up until the time he got into trouble with kind of what I would say. Listen, I'm as left as they come, but he got into this whole woke speech about pronouns and how to refer to people. And the Canadian government actually tried to legislate how we speak about people, even using made-up words. And he refused to do it. He got vilified by some people. He was, he was removed from his position. I just like to have a conversation as a left-leaning person about this thing that feels so unfair and so. Like it's what we get called snowflakes for, right?
Yeah. This
kind of language thing. Anyway, as you know about him, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on him and that whole situation and what you think about that and how we actually protect ourselves from being so far to the left we lose our common sense.
Good question. Good points. What do you think, babe? You want to say anything on this one?
Well, I'm trying to remember everything. I don't know that much about Jordan Peterson except that. But I don't know. I feel like we, on the one hand, we should be respecting people and if they want us to call them Joe and call them Joe, But on the other hand, yeah, you can't force someone into things. You can't fire someone just because they don't want to, maybe would have been better to like have a conversation about it instead of just firing him,
Mm-hmm. Well, that's for sure. I mean, as far as that goes, and he became very public and very famous and all of that.
That's all it did was make him.
Well, exactly. Talk about Streisand effect going, out of control. But, I mean, not exactly that, but you know what I mean. As far as the free speech issue goes, it is a very, very difficult topic, of course, because, all of us can think of examples of things that we wouldn't ever want said to us, or we wouldn't want said to our children, or we wouldn't want said to any children. And so we immediately go to those places and think, well, we don't want that. But then at the same time, you want this post-Enlightenment idea of, compelling ideas being shared and debated in the marketplace, this so-called marketplace of ideas. Now, we don't really have that. We have the illusion of that, with our social media experience thus far, as we've come to learn. And I'm just going to keep harping on the Social Dilemma documentary on that point. So we have to recognize that we don't really have an even playing field in terms of this marketplace or playing field of ideas right now. It's not a level playing field, but it's something better than nothing. And we can disparage it so much that we lose it entirely. And I'm very, very, very afraid of that. I tend to. What's that?
No, listen. I think that's such an interesting point. I was one of the executive producers on Social Dilemma with Heather Reisman and here in Canada.
Oh, wow.
So
wow.
I'm a huge understanding and believing in what that does to us.
Yeah.
But I look back in my history, and what changed me the most in my university experience was having sociology teachers who said the most provocative things. Provocative. Not that they believed it, but they made us think, and they made us defend our opinion and our thought. And I think when I look at Jordan Peterson, like we've lost that. Like we've lost the idea that a teacher can actually make us defend our thought, because we immediately get offended. We immediately go into cancel culture. We immediately go into this place that isn't good for us. And I think he's the epitome of that. Whether you believe in him or not, or what you think of his ideas, but he made us think about legislating people's vocabularies here in Canada, at least.
That's right.
And how dangerous that is.
That's right.
And we should applaud that, whether we agree or not. But we've lost that ability. And that's, like, to me, and I think your channel is so good. You've helped me so much over the years. And you've even corrected me on social media, for some of the things I lash back at.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I didn't think that through. And so you've been so great about that. I think it's such a good platform you have to help us think critically about people who make us think differently.
Agreed. Thank you very much, Joyce. You're making my day right now. So thank you very much for that. Thank you. Oh my God. Again, huge topic here. And I'm kind of all over the place now a little bit because I get flustered when people compliment me.
Well, you know what? We can take this next week and just think about it.
Yes.
I'd love to have a conversation about it.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much. And I will be more than happy to take your call next week. Let me end with this. I would agree completely with your premise, because it was the Jordan Peterson debate on free speech that prompted me to go find out about and actually read On Liberty by John Stuart Mill, which is the foundational document on freedom of speech as far as anyone's really concerned.
Yes.
So that's what compelled me to go do that. So, if I have Jordan Peterson and his controversy to thank for that, then I have something very good to thank him for.
I love it.
All right. Thanks, Joyce.
All right. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye. All right, cool. All right, so let us, these make some great calls.
Yeah.
This has been fun. Let us check back in with 7 just to see, hey, surprise, he's
He has
still
not
back
moved.
there. Don't see any hint of movement. Nope, he's just kicking it there in the closet. Those are Melissa's dresses there. He likes to...
Those are my shirts.
Oh, those are your shirts? Oh, that's right. That's the double cloth. Yeah, that's right. So, yes, that's the exciting 7 cam for this evening as we go here. Okay, we have another call coming in here.
Couple of them.
Yeah, all right. Let's take Oscar here. Let me hit on this so it takes it. Hello. Oh, no.
Hi.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Hello. Hi. Is this Oscar?
Hi, my name's Brian Navarro. Yes.
Okay, what's up?
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Happy late Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving or whatever works.
Right. That makes sense. How can we help you this evening?
I wanted to talk about I know it's political here, but about just Trump losing his mind in general though, and it's just with the whole even though we're still dealing with a crazy pandemic and the fact people still are not responsible to wear a damn mask, but for me though, what really bothers me though is that there's people though, even in my community, because I am Latino or Chicano or Chicano/Chapin because I'm from 2 cultures, and it bothers me that even in my community though, and even African Americans, there's still people who still support him, but unfortunately though, I guess it's because either people still hold on to their to some outdated values, and even some people just feel intimidated or insecure. And what still bothers me though is that there's still people that still believe in the whole fake leader. And even from watching your channel and everything, like I understand where it's coming from, because even from now though, like even the whole personality cult of Trump though, it's just like, wow, some people just either can't accept the truth or just want to be fed the way they want to. And I'm not surprised though, because especially when I watch your videos, I understand where it's coming from a lot now.
Yeah.
And I have a friend though who he was a progressive, but then he evolved into this Trump supporter, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't take hearing him talk. It was just like it was just a mess.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's wild. And it's like that with all of these cults. I mean, we have a fairly large one there. You know, the exact size, though, is I think it's actually going to turn out to be, in terms of the actual cult of Trump versus just your general Trump supporter. And there is a huge difference. I think we're going to find that, quite a bit of dip off there. I don't think we're talking about 70 million people. Not by a long shot, but enough people that it's bothersome and it's concerning, and a lot of families have been ripped up over and stuff like that. So I'm not saying there's no situation there at all. There certainly is. And we got a lot of bridge building and communicating to do with our friends, family, ex-friends, family, if we can, over these next years. But I don't know. I don't know if we're going into less turbulent waters or not. I hope we are. Yeah. I believe that we can foresee a future where politics might be boring again. That might be kind of fun. I don't know. It hasn't been boring for quite a while, so it would be nice to get back to that, but maybe I'm just an idealistic. I don't know, but I know Trump's done. I mean, he's not coming back. I think his kids probably have political aspirations. Maybe 1 or 2 of them do, but we'll see. Predictions kind of suck, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Me too, because for me though, I just at least hope something can be done though.
Oh, it definitely can. It definitely can. We just need to continue educating people on all this stuff. Whether they learn about it through learning about Scientology, whether they learn about it through learning about the Mormons or the Jehovah's Witnesses or the Hare Krishnas or Branch Davidians or Jim Jones or Om Shinrikyo out in Japan or, Falun Gong in China. I mean, however they learn about cultic activity and cultic thinking and extremist activity and extremist thinking and high control groups and all these words we throw around. But the more opportunities people have to learn about this stuff, the more they'll connect dots to, oh, this has something to do with my life. It really is an educational process here. And that's what I'm trying to do with my channel. And you've gotten some benefit from that. And I think that if we can get this information out there more people can and will benefit from it. And we will have less of this nonsense going on eventually. That's my hope. That's my dream. That's what keeps me getting up every day.
Yeah, me too.
So.
Me too, because. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, please. I was interrupting you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Overall, though, even in the Latino community, though, there is La Luz del Mundo and Iglesia Universal, which are the two most well-known cults in the Latino and even predominantly Mexican Chicano community as well. And it's like cults don't. It's like this. It's like the more. Even when I watch Scientology in the aftermath and even like watching videos from other people who have learned about La Luz del Mundo and even doing videos about La Luz del Mundo, like myself, which I also talked about like so many things that are happening because its leader is still on trial. And I'm not a member or anything, like a former member or anything like that, but just someone who is willing to learn, but even understanding the toxicity of cults in itself.
Mm-hmm.
And just like trying to see if I could become a source for people who have been there or become an ally.
Hey, you're doing it right now. Please keep doing it. Please keep learning. This is a deep well. I mean, I'm at a master's level degree right now learning this stuff, and there is a lot to learn about this. So keep going and keep spreading the news about it. That's what I can ask you to do.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. And also don't forget MLMs as well.
Big time. Multi-level marketing, folks. Anybody out there involved in MLM, check your cult models.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much, Oscar.
Ascari.
Oh, Ascari. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. I apologize.
Oscar is my brother's name, but my nickname, my family gives to me is Scott.
Got it.
Okay.
Scott. Okay,
Scott,
cool.
Okay.
All right, man. Thanks for calling.
All right. You too. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Stay safe.
Yes. Okay. And of course, it would not be a Thanksgiving episode if we were not giving thanks for Henny calling in. Hi, Henny.
Hi, Chris. Happy Thanksgiving to you and Melissa and Seven.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right back at ya.
Thank you very much. How was your Thanksgiving? Was it good and relaxing?
It actually was
Yeah.
awesome. It was awesome.
Oh.
I will only say that I made the best Thanksgiving meal I've eaten in many, many years. And I have to, I am patting myself on the back right now. I was quite impressed with myself and my cooking yesterday. I loved every bite.
Can you please just elaborate a little bit? What did you make, darling?
Oh, we did the Cornish. We did Cornish game hens with stuffing, and I actually first time ever stuffed a bird. Stuffed two of them because we each had one. Very good. And we had it on a bed of stuffing, and we had corn on the cob and pumpkin pie, and it was great. It was awesome.
It sounds yummy.
It was.
It sounds yummy.
So yes.
Oh, I'm so proud of you, Chris. Look at that, Melissa. His first meal like that.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, now that you made such a good meal, you're the one in charge for further Thanksgiving meal.
That's right. Well, I'll be. The word probably won't get back to the in-laws here, but I'll be edging in on the the meal action of the holidays once we can all start getting back together again.
Well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you guys had a good day and you enjoyed. I'm really, really happy for you.
Thank you.
And you have many things to be thankful for, really.
Yes. I have a whole list I was prepared to go through, but we've had such great calls this hour. I haven't even gotten to half of them yet. It's been great.
Oh, I'm so glad. Well, listen, I'm not going to keep you long. I wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. And I did want to mention something. As you know, I always have to add a little bit of educational thought. I was listening to an interview with Stephen Colbert and President Obama. Have you seen that interview?
I did when it first was aired. Is there a new one? Because I saw their original one.
Okay, I really don't know. I am so far behind the times. You know how far I am. I don't even have to go into that. Okay, but he said something that I thought was absolutely wonderful. And I wrote it down because I was so impressed. I was so impressed because it shows what we're thinking collectively, other people have that also in their mind. Here's what he said so that you'll understand. He said, how detached from reality and how embedded ideological and conspiratorial thinking has become, where you're doing it even when it's to your disadvantage.
Yeah, right. Good point.
Oh, I thought that was spectacular.
Yep.
Because it hit on ideological beliefs, which could be religious beliefs, conspiratorial beliefs, which is all this nonsense, and the thinking, even when it's in your detriment and to your detriment, is what he was acknowledging.
That's right.
And he ended with drinking the Kool-Aid. And I said, you know what? He understands perfectly. And if he understands, then so do so many others.
Exactly. You got it. Great, Henny. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. And that just brings me to another thankfulness. Have a happy, and I'm getting back to the show. Love you guys. You're terrific.
Bye-bye. Thank you. You
okay,
too.
good night.
All right. And we have Mike in the queue. Let's pick this one up. One moment as it processes the call. Hello, Mike. Are you on?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, how are you?
Can you hear me?
We can. Can you hear us?
Good. Yep, loud and clear.
Beautiful.
I've got a quick question, man. I want to get your view on something.
Yeah.
And see if maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But about like 10 days or so ago, I was reading a story at the underground bunker, and it was about the one about the vlog at the Delphian school.
Oh yeah, the little
story?
girl. That's right. So I remember that story. I saw that. Yeah.
Was it just me, or did he actually dox that girl by putting her, on blast where she goes to school?
Oh, that's an interesting point. That's an interesting point.
I mean, I had morbid curiosity. I looked at the videos, see if there was any, like Scientology stuff in the hallways. But it was just like a day in the life of a kid. So I lost interest in like 2 seconds. But
yeah,
before I closed the tab,
it was kind of made sort of generically, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I closed the tab, I looked at the comments, and like you can tell people just came there from reading the bunker, say, "Oh, this is where she's at. This is the school." I'm like, wow, that's kind of inappropriate,
Yeah.
Like, did you realize you did that, or?
I can see your point. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it one way or the other right now because it's just
I don't know.
Just the idea of it.
I just thought it was kind of odd.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get what you're saying. That could have been could have been more carefully considered.
All right, but the second question I got is a topic that's not really talked about as much as the other, abuses in Scientology is what happens when people get to retirement age? Are they just like fitness boarded out with no Social Security and kicked to the curb, or what exactly happens to them?
With the Sea Org members, they are not kicked to the curb. I personally witnessed 2 or 3 being put in retirement homes. I saw a couple others who were fitness boarded out of the Sea Org, but had family to receive them. That was the actual basis of the fitness board. And then I saw more often than not, people just work until they died. Now, they worked on pretty restricted or reduced schedules once they started getting really infirm or old. But, you know, so I saw people working as little as 3 hours a day once they were really of an advanced age or advanced medical condition, regardless of age. But, you know, I say all this, and it kind of sounds a little like conciliatory or apologetic, but it's, I mean, that's what I saw. You know, I saw Sea Org members cared about the old people who were around because those were the vets. Those are the hardcore guys. People respected them. It wasn't about, you know, their old people bodies were a bother because they weren't working as much. But there is a human connection there, and people did have, you know, these were friends and family of people who were in the Sea Org. So they were generally, somebody was going to take care of them. You know, I never saw an old person kicked to the curb. I never observed that.
Because you reach that age, you know, their Social Security is probably nothing to live on. So, you know, what happens to them?
Yeah, no, totally.
That's not really, you know.
Yeah. No, it's that's what I saw. I did hear of, I mean, I've certainly heard of plenty of cases of elder abuse outside of the Sea Org of elderly Scientologists, both public and staff members. It's a different thing inside the Sea Org and the world of the Sea Org, I guess is what I'm trying to communicate. You know what I mean? It's not like there's no abuse going on here, but as far as how the Sea Org thought and felt and what they did about them, you know, I heard from many people over the years in the Sea Org in different places and times, you know, the Sea Org takes care of its own. And that was kind of this sort of team attitude we all sort of had when we were at least well rested and well fed, which was few and far between, but it happened. I don't know if that's making any sense, but it's you know, it's a lot of years of a lot of experiences.
I was just under the impression that, you know, they reach a certain age and they kind of just open the door and fitness board them out. And like, what are they going to do with no Social Security, nowhere to go? So are they just on the street, or is there a designated senior citizens home for them?
Right. No, I never saw him kicked to the curb. That's not the attitude there. And it's just not, you know, like I said, but also, of course, I have to say that as a general statement, you know, Scientology is always worse than you think. So there's always going to be horrible stories. And I seem to recall right now, you know, hearing some nasty stories out of Flag, but I didn't directly observe those, which is why I take care to say that.
All right, man. I was just curious about that. That
cool.
was it.
All right, man. Thanks for calling.
All right. Take care, man.
All right.
Yep,
bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty then. That is that. And there we go. Let us check in one more time. Uno mas.
A little sleeper.
With our little ball of fun. And is there any change there?
I don't think so.
See any change in status there. Oh my God. He's just, you know, probably going to be in there all night long. All right. Well, that's our 7. Excuse me. Just checking some of the comments here. Doesn't have enough. Okay, good. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, ex-Scientologist, I am. Aren't you thankful? Question from the comments. Aren't you thankful for the opportunity for we in America to unite together and rebuild our friendships with each other and the world? You bet I am. You bet I am. I am all about the glass half full sort of thing with this. And maybe that's, you know, unrealistic. I certainly think so many times. You know that. But by nature, I am optimistic about this. And I think that things can go up and that we can progress and things can get better. And I'm very hopeful right now and very thankful for a lot of the things in my life the current events that are happening right now that hopefully are moving things in that direction. And I hope I'm not whistling past the graveyard in saying that, but that's what I think. Okay, we got one more call, and then we will wrap up here. This is Roger or Jonathan or hello.
Yeah. Hi there. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going with you?
How you doing? It's going pretty good. What are you thankful for there, bud?
What am I thankful for?
Yeah.
I was just saying. Thankful for everything in my life, actually, in one way or another. How about you?
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for about 2 or 3 months ago, I skinned my arm in a mail processing plant. And I've been getting workman's comp every day since then, and I'm thankful for that.
Good. Cool, man.
That's all I wanted to say. I recommend getting your arm skinned so you can get workman's comp.
Well, thank you very much for calling and let us know. All right, man. Talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Good. So there we go. Let me just make sure that I got everything covered on my list that I wanted to tell you guys about. I am very thankful that Trump is saying goodbye, although we will make that official, I think December 14th. Or the 12th or whatever date that is.
I'm not sure.
The electoral, when the Electoral College actually, weighs in. I am thankful for the uni study. I am thankful that no one in our family or friend circle passed or got even seriously ill with COVID. And again, it's not like it's all over, but so far we are thankful for that. Oh yes, we are thankful for Wonder Woman on Christmas.
Yes, that'll be exciting.
Yes, Wonder Woman 1984. And from that, we are thankful for streaming TV. Because would any of us have survived this without
oh my God.
some streaming TV? And of course, for
video games.
Video games, yes. Especially Stardew Valley, I will say, the most addictive chill game I have ever played for hours on end. And let's see. Oh, yes, of course, we are thankful that we are in Colorado.
Yes.
And that it is 4:20 somewhere in the world every minute of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not exactly, but sure, we can pretend.
Yeah, no, not every day, my ass. But yes, exactly. We do enjoy it. Oh, hey, Lauren. All over that Stardew Valley. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, and my live chats. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, let us get to our fallacy of the week. We will never forget because we have our cards. I do love these. This is our, for anybody who does not know, this is our deck of logical fallacies and cognitive biases. And we shuffle this deck, as is tradition on the show now, and randomly draw from it. And what do we see?
Begging the question.
Begging the question. A circular argument in which the conclusion is included in the premise. What? Okay, let's get an example. The word of Zorbo the Great is flawless and perfect. We know this because it says so in the great and infallible book of Zorbo's best and most truest things that are definitely true and should not ever be questioned. That would be begging the question. So it's just this sort of circular argument. There you go. That is your logical fallacy for the week, boys and girls. I would like you to use that in a sentence and come up with examples during the week and let me know next week what you find. That's the educational aspect of the show.
Yeah.
I say stuff like that and I get to get away with, being an educational show. All right. Yes, please do share and like these shows. I really love you guys. And thank you very much to those of you who threw the super chats our way.
Yeah.
We really, really appreciate that. Now more than ever, this has been, a slimming time.
Yeah.
And we understand the economy and all of that and things and the holidays and all of that. We get it. But if you are able to join us on Patreon, $1, $5, this is a tremendous boon to us. and always of very much appreciated if you are enjoying and loving the stuff that I am putting out. And we'll keep doing that. All right, guys, let us go ahead and wrap it up for this week.